Hey, welcome everybody. Relax Time Radio on Radio Thailand, Chiang Mai. It's Mon and me, Paul,
From home.
from home as usual. Yeah,
That is sad for as usual.
and it's going to be for another month, right? Everybody's got to stay at home another. Well, yeah. So I didn't see the full details of. I think some more businesses are opening up, but they have to take like extra precautions. But basically, the curfew is still here for another month, and yeah. Okay, but what are we going to be talking about today?
We have some really great stuff for you because we're going to talk about do-it-yourself things that you would need at home and can do at home, and that doesn't take a lot of things and is usually cheap to do. So things like soaps and shampoos and musical instruments and everything you need in the lockdown.
Yeah. We're also going to be playing some music, and I have I'm going to be playing normally we play newly released music, which we're going to be doing as well, but I am going to be playing some Bob Marley this week because a friend of mine died yesterday, a really good friend.
I'm sorry.
And he loved Bob Marley so much, and he even named his son partly after Bob Marley, so I'm going to have to play some Bob Marley for you, Jake.
Yes.
And other than that, life hacks and the music will always start with Beabadoobie, we believe.
It's still going.
Till we get forced out of it.
That's the way it's
going. That's the way it's going.
We're not putting that in anyone's head. Well, Beabadoobie and Bob it is for today.
Yep. Okay. So where should we start?
Well, maybe we explained it a bit. Was do it yourself is maybe not everyone knows the.
It's changed, hasn't it? Yeah. Okay, that's a good point. Right. So, like, I think, in fact, I was reading a really interesting story about this the other day. You know, like, yeah, there's for a long time, do it yourself basically just meant men with heavy tools and like building cabinets and wardrobes and this kind of thing, and that's really what DIY kind of meant. But it's kind of changed a little bit, hasn't it?
Yeah, I think also IKEA kind of made it
true.
Its thing in the beginning, but because they were like, oh, do it yourself furniture at home, and you're like, okay. So I think they kind of coined it a little bit for them.
Well, the other thing like that I've seen so much of, which I like, it just like completely amazes me that these people that put together these incredibly quick edited YouTube videos, 50 ways to tie a tie. I've watched some of those thinking, I thought there were like 2, 3 at the most, and then you have all these videos beautifully made and people like very showing you 50 or 30 different ways to tie a tie, or to tie your hair up, or different or like if you have just one piece of cloth like a scarf, all of the different things that you can use. You can make to tie a scarf into a bag. You could tie a scarf into a bag. So you could, like, we'll post some of this stuff. So we've got to mention. So if you're watching this video, we're just going to be talking and going over our topic, life hacks. What should we call it? Life hacks, make it on your own. DIY sounds a bit, I don't know, I don't like it anymore. But life hacks, make it yourself. Or
make it on your own.
Yeah. But the music is going to be on the radio, 93.25 FM. If you're listening to the whole show on the radio. Also radio player apps. If you're just on the video, then the music is in a playlist down there in the description of the video. So check out the music there. And we'll also post links that we found, some of the YouTube videos I'm talking about, and other links on how to make things yourself.
Yes.
All right. Well, let's start with something fun. What have you found?
Okay. So I think something really fun, especially now, it's really funny. So in my community, when I say community, I mean online, and my network, basically, the most people that actually said they have problems with their hair are men. And I thought it was so funny they started already like after 2 weeks or whatever, they started like, I need a haircut.
I did see that on Twitter, right? Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah. And I'm, you know, I actually do things a lot for myself because I was traveling so much. So it was just really a pain for me to always find a good hairdresser, a good nail person, good whatever. So about 5 years ago, I just gave it all up. And even the makeup, because obviously makeup underwater, I was a scuba dive instructor by this time, just didn't go well, right? So I was like, whatever. So I'm really like, I have the best conditions right now because I don't need to do anything, right? I can do my nails myself if I need to, and the hair. So I found, oh my God, it's so funny. I found do-it-yourself hair dye recipes. I don't want to tell you how to cut the hair because I wouldn't want to give this advice. But hair dyeing, and I thought it was so cool because most of them obviously are natural color. And so it's not going to last super long, but it may even get you through a few weeks until your hairdresser opens up again. So for all the women who may have, you know, the color starting to grow out, or their ombre is going to, you know, start looking like they missed out on, on, I don't know, filling up the color basically. So I'm just going to mention a few things, not the whole recipes, but I mentioned my favorite ones. So if you have really natural kind of brunette or dark brown hair, then you can do yourself a coffee hair dye. Coffee, and I love it. So you can do it with espresso if you basically, and I think it's done with the crowns. Yeah, so you basically rub the boiled crowns.
Yeah.
And next one is black tea, and I love it. Black tea leaves. So this is really for really dark black hair, and you can even do an ombre, like do it yourself ombre hair, as I just said. So ombre is basically like a color creating hair, right? So it's like, it looks a little bit like mine, but mine isn't done. It's just faded from the sun.
That's a nice one.
Yeah, right.
Okay, well, I'm gonna go with my first one then. I've got like a bunch of musical instrument ones, but I'm gonna save that for a little bit. My first one my first homemade thing of the coronavirus pandemic is, and I'm gonna have to like disturb the video here a little bit, is my spotlight, because I've got a really terrible webcam. So this is a desk lamp with a breathing mask on.
Oh my God, this is
and this
awesome.
Makes like a very soft light filter, as if like it was a photo, you know, because those photo filters that you could buy, like they'd be quite expensive.
Yeah.
But basically, I don't think they're going to do much of a better job than an N95 breathing mask.
Yeah, I love it.
So that's a 2-second one. You just put the mask on the lamp. It's really simple.
This is awesome. I love it. Okay, what's the next one you got?
The next one is I've seen these like many times actually, like carry on videos and things. But basically, so let's see if you could work out what this was. Well, you probably can now. But basically, imagine you have like a square piece of cloth. It's really about 20 centimeters by 20 centimeters. Now now we get takeaway coffee, or I don't have coffee at home, so I just go out and buy a takeaway coffee each day. And I don't like to use the cups are paper cups, and I like to go to a place where they have like compostable cups, right? And I don't like to get the lid.
Yeah.
Or if some places actually have compostable lids. So the plastic bag that you have to carry it in, that's the problem. But you can make like imagine this was a coffee cup, it's a bit tall, but you can make a carrying thing for your coffee.
I love it.
The reason why it's like so great is basically imagine you just have this flat on table, you put this on, it's even easier than the plastic bag. Right. It's not just like, so it's better. So the only thing that you need to do for this is like just go on the internet or look at the link that we post below. I'll post a link and it'll have a pattern and you can just cut out the pattern, you know,
I love
with
it.
a knife, with a cutting knife on.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it
So I'll
can't
post
fall
that.
over. That's the cool thing.
No, it's perfect. It's really great. Reusable. No need to have plastic bags. And yeah. Because to be honest, one of the things I haven't liked about the coronavirus thing is they say that there's more and more plastic getting used, and I've been using more plastic as well because food gets delivered in plastic, and I don't know, I haven't used this much plastic in ages, but I'm just trying to cut out some of it again.
Yeah, it's one of the reasons why I don't order takeaway food, or if I do order it, then I pick it up myself. Other than today, but it's the first time that I ordered it. But I pick it up myself when I bring one of the Tupper boxes.
Yeah, well, yeah, there you go, like this. I take it, but some places don't accept it. Some places don't accept them. Like,
really?
I was going to some place and they say no. At the moment, we can't accept like containers from outside. It's like a risk. They consider it a risk to them, which makes sense in a way, you know, but a little bit. But
because I mean, they would have to disinfect it and stuff like that.
Yeah, yeah. Which they could do. They could wash it, I guess. Anyway, well, yeah, we'll leave that one. But yeah, I think people are just kind of getting used to it.
But all the plastic, I mean, it's the same as the plastic. The plastic is just coming from somewhere, and whoever touches it, and then you just they're not going to disinfect the plastic, do they?
I don't know.
Anyways, yeah. That's an interesting one. All right. Okay, so my next one is soap bars. And soap bars. Yeah, you can literally make any soap bar that you want. It's a little bit more complicated than just rubbing coffee into your hair. But there are 4 different processes that you can do. And some take longer and are easier to do, and some take more equipment. So I think the easiest would be to just read in the link that we post for you. It's a really nice blog post just about how to do it, and they give you a lot of recipes. But just so you know, like there are really, really easy ones for starters, basically that you can do, and some of them you can bake, basically. So you bake soap.
Yeah, I was watching Russell Brand and his wife make.
Oh yeah, you watched that?
Yeah,
too?
make some soap. Yeah, did you see that? That was cute. Yeah. So.
And it
also.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yeah, go ahead.
Go.
No. I was going to say also. I actually made a video myself.
Oh.
Yeah, because I used to buy soap. I used to buy things from Thailand and export them back to England. So one of the things I would go to was like a homemade soap maker, a herbal soap maker. So I have a video somewhere. I think it's on YouTube. I may be able to post my own video.
Yes, please.
Yeah.
I would love that. That's really cool. Yeah, I think the soap that Russell Brand was doing was like a bouncy one, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was for kids. That was for kids. That was cute. Yeah.
That was so cool. All right, what else do you get?
What else have I got? Okay. Well, I can't show you, but basically you can make, I'm going to start some instruments. So you can make a few different kinds of like blowing instruments. You can make, if you had like, so this is actually a flute, right? But if you had a piece of water pipe, and in Thailand, all of the electricity piping, all of the water piping, it's this sort of PVC piping, blue or yellow, you can use any of it, is really, really easy to cut. You can just, you might have it lying around the house. I actually have some in my house just lying around. Yeah. And you can make a flute. You can go online. I'll share one video below. It's really, really easy to mark out the holes. The slightly more difficult bit is the mouthpiece, but it's not difficult at all. Not really. There's a simple version of it. It's like super, super simple. So you could easily make a flute. I actually made a flute once out of a drinking straw. So if you have like any old drinking straws lying around, you can make a flute out of a drinking straw. And there's a really cool instrument that you can make out of drinking straws. If you have some old drinking straws lying around, you can make a can. You know the Thai instrument, the can, which is like It's normally made out of bamboo. It has like a bunch of pipes. Well,
Oh,
there's like
yeah.
they have them all around the world, different versions. You know, in South
Yeah.
America they have like a pipe organ, right?
Right.
Instead of bamboo pipe organ.
Yeah.
You can make one of those out of drinking straws.
Really?
You just tie. It's like
How,
really simple.
that is insane. How would that
So,
look like?
well, I don't. Let me see. How can I show you? I can show you. Yeah. Well, I'll show you in 2 seconds. Maybe you can give me, because I might have to find it on here. Let me see. Drinking straw organ. Yeah. Okay. Well, so here we go. I don't know if this is gonna work. Can you see? Does that
Oh, yeah, yeah,
show?
yeah. Oh, like a pan flute?
Yeah.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. Wow.
Yeah. So it's like super simple. All you need is some drinking straws and some sellotape,
Yeah.
some sticky tape. That's it. And then you have an organ. You can sort of use different lengths of straws. You could make it. You could put as many notes on it as you like. You know.
That's so
That's
cool.
yeah. So or you could call it a harmonica, or you make one very similar to the Thai can. Or yeah.
That is really cool.
There's loads of instruments that you can make though. So for example, you could make and this is something that I did before, like when I was teaching music at a school. You can basically make shakers, you know, egg
Mm-hmm.
shakers or maracas out of almost anything. You know,
Yeah.
you just need some kind of box, and then find some
Stones.
seeds, stones.
Yeah.
Yeah, you can experiment. You know, experiment to get different sounds.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, we did a lot of instruments indeed. You can do drums out of buckets.
Drums out of buckets or tin cans. Yeah, you can make. You could basically this. You could make drums out of tin cans and well, kind of very musical drums.
Yeah.
Out of tin cans, but you'd need some kind of rubber. I share a video down there. I have one actually. Watching it earlier. How you could make a little sort of musical tuned drum set out of tin cans.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. All right. So my next one is a little handicraft thing for kids that you can do yourself, and it doesn't take really anything other than potatoes and a knife. So you cut the potato in half, and you can basically cut figures or anything like letters or whatever into the potato, and you can use it as stamps. So because the potato, when you cut it open, the raw potato, right, is still fresh and a little bit juicy, you can then use it to either you can use food color, or you can just use watercolor that you use for painting and just rub it over it, and then you can stamp with it. So that's pretty cool. So you can do your own stamps and you can reuse them as well.
Cool. I think I feel like I might have done that when I was a kid or something at school somewhere. Yeah.
Yep. Yeah, I did. Yeah, and you can do. I'm not sure. I'm thinking because actually you should have it here because I've been eating them here. Damn it! Now I forgot the name. Like it's not a nut, but it's not a fruit. It's usually in the winter in the UK and in Germany as well. You roast them. What's the damn name? Okay, let me translate it, and then but I explain what we can do with it. So basically, chestnuts.
Chestnuts.
Yeah. So you take chestnuts, and you take tooth pickers, and you can basically pick the chestnuts on the tooth pickers, and you can create little animals with it. So, for example, you can make a giraffe, you can make an elephant, and we used to do that in the fall, because then the chestnuts would fall from the trees, and we would pick them all up, and we would create all of these animals. So if you would Google chestnut animals, or maybe we just have another link, as well for it. And it's really fun. And you can do that actually with anything. You could do this even with some little fruit here. You know, this heart, maybe you can do this with the little plums. You have here the sour plums that you have in Thailand. You could use them.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they're easy to pick on and they're a little bit smaller, so you can use more and create like different animals. And it's really fun to do that actually because they look really cool by the end.
Yeah. Okay. I might need to do a bit of research and then chop a bit out of the video.
All right, I got a next one.
You have? Okay.
You can search while I'm talking.
Okay.
So, because for me, do it yourself because I had to basically use a lot of do it yourself recipes for hair and skin and everything. So a lot of it had to do with creating my own shampoos and stuff like that. So I have a hair shampoo or also shower gel recipes. And the very easiest one that everyone right now can do, even if you have barely any money, even if you have barely any food, the best ever shampoo you can create for yourself is literally a glass of water and a tablespoonful of baking soda, and just stir it up and put it in an old shampoo bottle, like wash the shampoo bottle out before, and then you use it basically for your hair. It cleans everything. It makes your hair shiny. It's natural. It doesn't leave anything behind. And it doesn't damage your hair because it resets the pH score basically. And it's really, really good. So then obviously you can do a lot of different ones with essential oils or anything, but that gets a little bit more expensive. But other things that you can use is also, like, for example, if your hair is really dry right now after the burning season here, it can be really dry. It's just broken, just like my hair sometimes. And so a really good thing that you can do as a hair mask is just taking coconut oil and rub it into the lengths of your hair and leave it in with a towel around it for like 2 or 4 hours, and then wash it out really thoroughly with either the baking soda shampoo that you have or with a normal shampoo, and your hair is going to be really soft and shiny.
Amazing. Soaps and shampoos. Yeah, I remember I remember a friend, like maybe Lisa remember Lisa from Freebird Cafe?
Yeah.
I think she knows how to make loads of
yes.
She knows how to make loads of things like this.
Yes, I love her. Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, what have I found? Oh yeah, one thing I was thinking about, like I've been, like, speaking of the like plastic, I was like a little bit disappointed that more and more plastic was getting used, including by me, because I don't like to. Mm-hmm. But actually, if you have like more plastic that you can reuse for containers for food and things, you can make them into mini plant pots, cactus pots, or anything.
Yeah.
Some plants require very, very, very little soil, so you can actually use anything from an old shoe, an old food container. If you don't, if you'd prefer to sort of reuse them or find a new use for them rather than throw them away, or let's say recycle them, you can keep them as plant containers and put cactuses and other little plants. Yeah, succulents. Yeah, that's the one. That's the word I was looking for.
Yeah, I love them.
And that doesn't require any work at all. Just
yes. Yeah. Okay, so if we're at that, so if you have, for example, any clothes that you don't use anymore, you would throw away usually, like let's say, for example, a pair of jeans. What you can easily do is you can cut off the legs right at where your leg usually would start, so that basically it's just the part with around the waist and down to the legs basically. And then you can sew the legs together so that it's closed. And then you can use it as a handbag, for example. If you, you can use you can use an old belt, for example, and stick it on both sides, and you can make a really cool handbag out of it. Or what my sister has done, I think, she used it for, you put it on the table, and then you can put stuff inside like pens and all of this stuff that otherwise just would flow around in the whole house.
Another musical one. This is like not a permanent instrument, but it's a nice one because we don't really get to hear water-based sounds very often.
Oh.
So you can basically fill up bottles or cups or glasses with different amounts of water, and make a sort of, you can make a xylophone. Basically, you can make a xylophone out of just any kind of glass or glasses. It should be glasses, actually. Yeah. It's easier if the glasses are like a set. So if you had, say, like 6 glasses all the same, you could just fill them up with different amount of water, and get some kind of spoon, a teaspoon, something like that. Nothing too heavy, nothing that would too easily break them. A light teaspoon, and then you have yourself a water cup, water glass, xylophone.
That's pretty cool. I love all of these ideas.
Yeah. Oh, the cans one, like the one, the sort of like tunable cans. That one you need, you actually need balloons. If you have some kind of like balloons, then you can basically make drum skins out of the balloons.
Yeah.
And just use a rubber band to sort of put them over the top of the can, and then you get a very musical kind of like drum set.
Yeah.
Out of a set of cans.
That's awesome. Yeah. So what I wanted to say. There was something I had in mind. Well, what would you say is something that people could use right now the most? So I think it's like the things for your household, like soaps and stuff like that, for sure. Something to keep yourself busy. So we have the musical things.
The only thing about soaps is, like, in the end, you still, even the Russell Brand and his wife's one, Laura, she's not called Laura. I mean, I loved it, but you still end up having to do as much shopping or more shopping than you do just to buy soap. Unless you already have stuff around the house, but you know what I mean. It's not like you don't have to buy anything at all. I guess.
No, I mean there's a few soaps actually that you can, like liquid ones basically, right? That they're like shower gel kind of soaps. So liquid hand soaps that you can create. They don't need to be very difficult. But the soap bars, definitely you do need some more things to buy. But what is things, so for example, what I was just thinking when you mentioned all of the plastic bottles, if you cut them in half, you can create, like as you said, you can plant all of the things. But why don't you also plant, for example, herbs or little mini veggie stuff, for example?
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Actually,
you plant your own.
Well, actually, that's one of the things we can post. There are whole pages full of ideas for what you can do with old plastic bottles. You can make lampshades out of them. People make them into all sorts of stuff. Like you can even make a kind of one of those chairs that you kind of flop into. I don't know what those chairs are called. You know how like the chairs that just sort of swallow you up like a Pac-Man. You can even make one of those. Yeah, you can make a beanbag chair out of plastic bottles. You can make all sorts of stuff. I'll post one link for that, just for what you can do with plastic bottles.
In Brazil, in the favelas, they would use these plastic bottles and fill them up with water, and they would punch. They would punch or cut holes into the roof, because they would usually live in very similar houses that some of the poor people in Thailand live with the velling, how's it called? The metal type of
what, the metal sheet roof, the metal
yeah, where
yeah,
it's just like the really poor people houses where they only have,
yeah, it's like zinc or metal sheet roofing.
yeah.
Yeah.
And so you cut basically
I saw this. That's excellent.
Yeah, and you hang the bottles upside down in there because the sun will come through the water in the bottle and shine through the house. And so it lights up the whole house throughout the day, so you don't need any electricity, and it's amazing how this works.
That one went viral for sure, because I saw that on like CNN or something. I've definitely seen that.
And I think this is something that, if we could help with projects like this right now as well, I think this would be really, really helpful, because we have so much sun here as well. And just if people, it would reuse a lot of plastic, so we can help do that. And it would help maybe a lot of people to save electricity and just maybe a few.
There probably would be some places in Thailand that would like this idea. I wonder though, Thailand, I'm not 100% sure. Like, you definitely would have been true 20 years ago. It definitely as far as saving on electricity.
Yeah.
But I suspect that most people, even in like slum areas, would have like electricity in Thailand.
Yeah, but it's more about the saving aspect, If you don't have, because most of these houses that I'm in, and I've seen them even around here, hidden in the little alleys, and sometimes the thing is they're just very dark because they don't have windows or whatever, right? So they do need to use electricity all the time. And although electricity is not expensive, but if you can save 200-300 baht a month, why wouldn't you, right?
Yeah, true.
That's and we can reuse plastic. I mean, it's just like a win-win.
Yeah. Oh, another use for those coffee grounds, other than dyeing your hair, is as fertilizer for plants. The only thing is you have to check. Not all plants like it, because it's quite acidic. So you'd have to like check. You'd have to do a Google search, because I was asking Lee from Akaama, about this, and he recommended using coffee grounds as fertilizer, but you have to check. Only some plants like it, not all.
Right. It's amazing. I have actually, before this all started, ordered a pair of sneakers from a company who reuses coffee grounds to create those sneakers. So basically those sneakers are made out of coffee grounds.
Really?
Yeah.
That's crazy.
I know. And those are completely waterproof, but unfortunately I now had to, I'm actually really sad about it, but I had to get a refund because I'm waiting for these sneakers almost for 1 year now. And obviously it's not going to be delivered in the next half a year or whatever, because they are stuck in, I think, Hong Kong or Sweden or wherever, other side of the world. And so, I asked for a refund, but it was a nice idea.
Maybe it was an idea, one of those ideas that they never got off the production, off the prototype table or something.
They sent out already 5,000 pairs, but not mine.
Yeah, too bad.
Happens.
All right, thanks everybody. Just a few tips from Mon and I on musical instruments, on other things that you can make at home yourself, perhaps out of bits of old cloth or something. To help you make life more interesting, more fun, give you something to do. Perhaps you use in the filming of your radio show, like like I'm doing now with my light. And hope you enjoy the music that we've played. We'll play some more as well. And see you next time. This has been Relax Time Radio, 93.25 FM, Radio Thailand, Chiang Mai. See you next time.
Yeah, stay safe and see you next week.
Yeah, bye. Okay. tune in tomorrow for legal matters or coronavirus updates from Quintam, who does a lot of legal and visa and coronavirus information on his show. 7:30 p.m. That's tomorrow, Saturday, on Relax Time Radio.
Yeah.
I'll be back on Sunday. I'll be back on Sunday with Lily and DJ Nam. One or both of them, maybe just one of them, I think. So Sunday show. And then on Monday, it's Jacqueline and Meredith. I know they were recording a show for Monday today, so Jacqueline and Meredith will be doing Women Only show on Monday as well.
Awesome. All right. And we're back next Friday.
See you next Friday.